Hey guys, Fig Nukin Records here, back again with another video. Today we're going to go over Metal Masterpiece Episode 1, starting with an album from my childhood that resonates deeply with me, Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. So big thing I want to talk about is why this is Episode 1. It's because it's a really big part of my childhood. I was a huge Linkin Park fan. I'm just going to set this behind me quick. So, kind of a big thing was, honestly, my dad really was into that album, Hybrid Theory, and also Meteora. So I think that really helped. And then, of course, when I was growing up, I was a big Transformers fan. And then them being kind of the staple for Transformers for the first three movies. Granted, they're not that great. I don't mind the first one too much, but otherwise, they're not great movies. But man, Linkin Park makes some great albums. I'm really into most of their stuff. Never got really into the last album. But granted, I've probably given that the least amount of listens, so maybe eventually it'll grow on me. I have no idea, but I do have to say, all their other albums kind of dig. I love Living Things. I love, I love the first two. Even their like concept albums. Everything. Thousand Suns, of course, that being their concept album, is really good. A Light That Never Comes was even kind of cool, like just that song. I wasn't really into the rest of the remix album, but that song's really dope. A lot of stuff really resonates with me, but let's just get into Hybrid Theory as being, I think, what would be considered their masterpiece album. Masterpiece in nu metal as well. And personally, to me, it's the best nu metal album ever, because I'm not really big in nu metal fan, but it kind of really mixes a lot of, really good hip hop. You have, the harsh vocals of like hardcore, I guess you could say, and stuff like that. And then you have mixes of industrial, even just like beat making overall. And I think it's really, really well done. So let's start off and go through this track list. Paper Cut, of course, being a massive, massive track. Great song. What can you say? It's a classic. One Step Closer, of course, being one of their more intense songs, I'd say, of their whole career. Has some great screams from Chester on there. Overall, that song is probably. I know it's one of their bigger songs, but I'd say it's probably like pretty underrated compared to a lot of like really, really heavy nu metal songs. That's pretty fucking heavy, and I know Linkin Park now is not known for being like the heaviest band ever because, Thousand Suns and Living Things and all that kind of being a lighter tone and even more involved with electronica, but I think this is a really, really good song defining in heaviness. With You, another great song. Honestly, I could just go through this whole list, With You, great song. Points of Authority, amazing. Crawling, of course, that's another huge song for them. Runaway, amazing. By Myself, and then of course you got another huge one, In the End. Probably my favorite track on this album, A Place for My Head. I just love the, I don't know what kind of guitar you'd say that is, but the, I don't know. Very, very unique with the kind of hip-hop record scratching in there as well. And it just kind of really goes well. Honestly, Shinoda is probably my favorite part of the group. I love Fort Minor and everything like that as well. He just does really good. It's kind of hard to beat. Chester, Shinoda are amazing. It's so hard. Choose which one I like more. But, overall, it's a great band. Then you got Forgotten, another great one. And then you got the instrumental or beat track, or I don't know what you want to call it. It's not really an instrumental. It's not as much instrumental, but maybe a sampling. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Cure for the Itch. Pretty awesome. And then Pushing Me Away to finish off the album. Another great song. And I think what really makes this album, like just going through the list, like I said, it would be pointless for me to just start listing off each song and tell you what I like about it, because they're all great songs. I think they're all really unique for the time. Like there's very, very few nu metal bands that actually sound like them, which I think is a really cool thing about Linkin Park, is I think they're almost into rap metal. Not quite like somebody like um, Stuck Mojo or something like that, but I think it's really, really, really interesting the way they mix everything together. Like, I don't know, you hear Corn, and it's kind of just heavy, kind of yelling-y stuff where I don't really like that as much. You know, there's a few songs I don't mind. I don't mind their covers. I think those are pretty decent, but I don't know, like some of that just doesn't work for me. And like System of a Down, I guess, if you want to say they're new metal, because I know some people count them as new metal, but I think they're kind of, even in the same vein as Linkin Park, where they're, I think, a little more than new metal. Um, I don't know, just great musicianship, and I think this one shows like a real. This album in particular, Hybrid Theory, shows a lot of emotion and lets out a lot of emotion that a lot of albums can't show, to be honest. And it's really sad because I think a lot of what has happened now, like looking back on it, makes it kind of even more intense. You know what I mean? Um, with Chester's struggles, and then going back to learning more about the band as like I grew older. Because when I was, of course, even I wasn't even born I was born. I was 2 months old at the time this album came out, so I'm a little out of the time by then. But growing up hearing this, I really didn't understand, and then it's just completely different. So yeah, I mean, this album, like I said, big part of my childhood. So maybe I'm giving it a little bit of bias shift, but I mean, it is one of the best selling albums of all time. It's a huge album. Um, and man, I think it deserves it all. And as much as they get memed now, which is kind of sad to me because, I think they're a decently talented, well, they're a pretty talented band. And yeah, their songs might be, I guess you could say emo or stuff like that. I think they deserve more recollection than being able to put in that category. Even same with like bands like Chemical Romance. I don't think they're just an emo group. Because I think like Black Parade is kind of honestly a really good concept album. And I mean, you know me, I'm a big concept album guy. I mean, I got fucking over here, got a fucking Keller's poster. So I'm a big concept prog guy. You know what I mean? But all that aside, just great early 2000s new metal. Can't go wrong. In my opinion, this isn't a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. I almost said like this isn't, but no, this is 100% a masterpiece to me. Yeah, so that's going to be the end of episode 1. I really think it's a great album. I give it a probably a 9.5 out of 10. My main lacking with it now is that I've heard the song so much that to me it's maybe less interesting than it used to be. But honestly, still love the album. Still spin it, a couple times a year. So, hell, great album to me. And that'll be all for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. That was episode 1 of Metal. Oh man, what the heck? Metal Masterpieces. Why did I pause there? Yeah, Metal Masterpieces, episode 1. Thank you all for watching. Have a good rest of your day.